SuicideFantasyFootball.com the night before the season opening Sunday.
I can't wait.
Didn't know if it was going to happen, although we believe there was always going to be a season, but still, it's like Christmas night. Christmas Eve, I should say.
Christmas Eve.
So we're going to talk about the playoffs. Playoffs. And the AFC and who we think is going to be there.
We're
Jim.
putting our name on the line here. This is how it goes. We put our picks out there, predictions out there, and then everybody makes fun of us for being complete and total idiots. And
I did call for neither the Jets or the Eagles to be in the Super Bowl last year, in playoffs in the preseason.
Yeah, that's cool. So now we have it on tape. So at the end of the year, you can really tell.
Which is what happens. Here's the truth. Jim's always wrong, and then once we put it on tape, then he ends up becoming right, like he did when the Phils won the World Series. Called the Phils to win the World Series from 1983 on. The one time we're on radio, and it's on...
False. Can't prove it. You have no documentation.
All right, tell me what you think, Jim. Who's making the playoffs in the AFC?
AFC, I got my division winners. I'm going the Pats, the Ravens, the Texans, and the Chargers. Those are my 4 division winners. I think it's pretty clear. I think the Steelers don't make the playoffs this year.
They follow that. You lose in the Super Bowl, you don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think some things have happened already to them. They looked okay in the preseason, but I think that the James Harrison...
They looked okay in the preseason. They looked very good in the preseason.
No, they didn't. In the first game, they looked horrible. Then they looked good against the Eagles. Then they looked horrible again one time. So, I mean, they didn't look great. They looked okay. I think the James Harrison, Ben Roethlisberger stuff hasn't really come to a head. They can act like everything's fine, and when you're winning, everything's fine. But as soon as they start losing, a little backbiting, a little sniping here, that can fall apart. I think that they just barely missed the playoffs.
I mean, it's not like a receiver, T.O. McNabb not getting along. They're not on the field at the same time.
Yeah, but it's the captain of the offense against the captain of the defense. So there is some divide in the locker room.
Okay, I'll go with my divisional winners, or conference winners, sorry. I'm going with the Jets, not the Patriots. I'm going with the Steelers, not the Ravens. I disagree with you. I think they're a better team than Baltimore. I think they win that division. Then we're the same. I'm going Houston because no one else in that division is any good. And then the Chargers just because they not only have the #1 defense last year and the #1 offense, they lost 4 games on special teams, and they hired Tampa Bay's dude who's a pretty good special teams coordinator. So,
okay, my 2 wildcard teams, Packers. I'm sorry, I looked at the wrong sheet. Titans, Jets. I don't have the Steelers making it. I have the Titans. I have the Titans sneaking in.
Is Chris Johnson playing quarterback, wide receiver?
Partially because I think they beat Houston once. I think they beat the Colts twice.
Okay.
And I think they beat the Jaguars twice. So I think they got 5 decent, easy wins there. So now all you got to do is win 4 out of your other 10 games.
9 wins in the AFC.
Yeah, 9 wins in the AFC. Well, 10, maybe 10.
Which is why the Steelers would win, or the Ravens would win, and the other one is in the playoffs as the wild card.
Steelers,
and that's my wild card. My wild cards are New England. I think the Jets win that division, but New England's good enough to make a wild card appearance. And I also think the Ravens, same thing, don't win the division, but good enough to make it in as a wild card.
So recapping it, I
have Jets, Steelers, Chargers, and Texans with New England and Baltimore as the wild cards.
And I have Patriots, Ravens, Houston Texans, Chargers, with the Titans and the Jets as the wild card winners.
That's our picks. Tell us what you think. Jim at SuicideFantasySports.com. Eric at SuicideFantasySports.com. It's your last day. You've got less than 13 hours now from the time we put this up to sign up for Suicide Fantasy Football. It combines the one-and-done aspect of a suicide pool with traditional fantasy football. So once you use them, you can't use them. Once you use them, you lose them for the rest of the season. So check it out, and also check out our Blog Talk radio show Wednesday night, 7:30. We'll be recapping Week 1, along with Facebook Suicide Fantasy Football and Twitter SFF all caps com.